Okay, so I think we are live. We are now live. So hello everyone and welcome to the Geek Battle Show here on the Extreme Improv Extremes YouTube channel, as well as the Geek Battle and the Geek Battle Gaming YouTube channel and the other Geek Battle related channels on Kick, Twitch, X, and everywhere else where we are. So Nick's just rustling up some food in the kitchen, but we'll discuss this and so much more after the intro. Oh, the intro didn't work. We'll give that one more try. Boom.
Welcome to the Geek Battle Zone. We discuss comics and puny minds are blown. We debate Marvel versus DC, Skeletor, X-Men, and Ron Weasley. Judge David slams down the gavel and Cap dreams of Henry Cavill. It's a Geek Battle stream, nerd rage as we assemble our Geek Avengers team. Welcome to the Geek Battle party. We are the Justice League and our Batman is Marty. Stick Hitler's a Tim as movies are greenlit. Every new movie, Dev's already seen it. Xbox, Star Wars, and Star Riders. He-Man, Star Trek, and David loves spiders. We battle as Marvel and Disney look bleak, and we try to crown the Geek of the Week. It's the Geek Battle Show. Welcome to the Geek Battleground, where we use the Force and the One Ring is found. Cap is wrong about Resident Evil 6, and everyone watch out, cause oh shit, it's big. Gerald and Tim and Diz will try to win at the Geek Battle Quiz. David and Dave will confuse their crew as they dive in the TARDIS of Doctor Who. Watch out now, we're full of hot takes. Dr. Courtney is garbage, but Red Dwarf is great. You love Sega, I love Nintendo, but in the Geek Battle, we are all friendos. Oh, it's a Geek Battle show. Oh, the Geek Battle show. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Geek Battle show.
Okay, good. So
the cap.
we are here, guys. We have gained a cap and we have also gained a dev. So welcome one and all. We'll literally just get started here. But first things first, Dev, how's it going?
Hello, Dev. Not bad.
Are you back in the UK?
Yes. I only went for a day, so yeah.
This is the most extraordinary thing to me, that you went to New York for a day.
Yeah, and ironically enough, because I met a roadie like before the show, like I gave a roadie a lighter, and he we talked about how I was only there for like a day, so he upgraded my seat, and because of that, during the show, there's the part where he comes into the crowd and like sings in the crowd.
Yeah,
he came and sang with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. Where are you from normally? Like, where did you travel to?
London to New York.
Oh,
London
damn.
to New York. Yeah.
I would have met up with you in New York for a coffee, Dev.
You're in Las Vegas.
I'm in
Plus,
Virginia.
I did put it in the chat.
Virginia.
And I said yes.
I'm in Virginia, but it's a 6-hour drive for me to go to New York. I go all the time.
What? That's crazy. A 6-hour drive to New York. It's an 8-hour flight. Why aren't we all meeting up in New York or something? Cap, how long would it take you to get there?
14 hours, probably? And
yeah,
probably
maybe a bit long.
Okay.
If I fly, it's 2 hours. If I just decide to drive up, it's 2 hours. And there's a train, which is 10 hours. I do it all the time. You know, it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
Wow.
The fact that Americans see nothing like of a 6-hour drive is why if an American ever asked you if you live in the UK, if you live anywhere near London, the answer is always yes, no matter where you are. Yes.
Yeah, but it's weird is that I live in a tiny island. it's a 6-hour drive to get one side to another one, and even it's not that long anyways. But it is a 6-hour drive.
Wait, hang on. So you say a tiny island? You don't mean you what? All of Sri Lanka, or just you're on a tiny island?
No, Sri Lanka is a tiny island.
Oh, okay. I just thought you meant that you were on a tiny island off of Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka,
How small?
About the same size.
About the same size as what? England.
It's a little smaller than Madagascar. Not
Okay.
size of England. England is huge.
How big Madagascar is?
No, it's not, man. England is not huge.
Compared to us, it's huge.
Really?
It's really
Wow.
not. If it's 6 hours, it takes less than 6 hours to go to the top of England to the bottom of England.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, but it should take like 1 hour to get one side of Sri Lanka to another side of Sri Lanka, but it will take you 6 or 8 hours.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
it says
I got you. I'm with you.
65,000 square kilometers. I thought 6 hours.
But apparently it is.
Yeah, like
Look,
it's
if
a lot
you
of shit
remember
to get through.
Cap's story, well, perhaps I shouldn't say this about the train earlier. You had to walk through a jungle and stuff. That is why things take a long time.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
We still run on the system that the British gave us when they built train roads.
You're welcome.
Wow.
This is from Puerto Rico, which is only 40 miles from north to south and 80 miles across, but it still takes about 6 to 7 hours to get like from one major state to the other one.
Okay. Well, here we are on geography battle, guys. So going well. KD, say hello to the people. Actually, Dev, did you have a geek trivia fact, or was it?
Yeah,
just
my
that you
geek trivia
found-
fact is that the newest Wolverine actor, who's just been revealed yesterday, is also Australian.
Wait. This is a video game, right?
Yeah, the video game one.
Ah, right. Okay,
But he's
good
also
for him.
Australian, so there's 2 Australian Wolverines now.
Yeah, well, good for them. Okay, we'll get into that soon enough, I'm sure. KD, say hello to the people.
Hello to the where's the camera? Hello to the people. How are ye? All of ye, how are they?
Yeah, I'm sure we're good. KD, do you have a geek trivia fact for us?
Oh yeah, sorry. No.
Excellent. Don't worry.
I
Okay,
forgot.
Nick, say hello to the
I'll come
people.
up with one later.
Hello to the people. I'm Nick
Excellent.
from Virginia. Apparently 6 hours south of New York by car.
Wow. Is that your trivia?
My geek fact of the week is Evo Moment 37. If you know what that is, it's when 2 of the best Street Fighter players in the world were fighting the 4th round of a big Street Fighter tournament, and one of the 2 players was playing Ken and the other was playing Chun-Li. And the Chun-Li player did the ultimate combo, whatever it was called back then, I don't remember. And the Ken player parried all 37 attacks. He had 1.5 seconds of reaction time to hit all the per block. And if he was off by a frame, he would get killed. It was kind of amazing to watch.
It sounds it.
So
Nick,
I
I'm
can
just
actually
gonna
explain
say
that.
One second. Nick, your audio is a little quiet. It's a little quiet. I could hear you, but I had to concentrate. Go ahead, Dev.
Yeah.
I can explain that more concisely. So there's a mechanic on one Street Fighter game called
Wait, what do you mean
parrying.
I can explain it more concisely? Right?
Like,
It's just like
No,
you
like-
rattled on far too long. Let's tighten this up.
Yeah, the bridge version.
Oh God.
So there's a mechanic on these one of the Street Fighter games where you can parry attacks, but by parrying them, you don't get any chip damage or any damage at all. One of the characters had a pixel valve left and survived by parrying an entire super combo and winning the match.
And it is one of my favorite. It comes up on my YouTube every once in a while on my whatever I'm watching, and every time I have to watch it because it's just so amazing.
Okay. Good. On that note, Capelthev, say hello to the people.
Hail from the land of leopards, elephants, and crocodiles. It's me, Capel Day. Apparently it takes 6 hours. That's my geek fact. No. My geek fact is that last year, a couple of researchers won the Nobel Prize for AI in chemistry because they were Google's DeepMind researchers were able to map out how protein structures work and how we can design proteins and also predict how they perform. Mainly, this is used for, build up new antibodies and things like that, because we can't really keep up with any sort of new disease that comes up, because creating a new antibody or a new antivirus is difficult, because protein shapes prediction is something that it's really hard to do. But with AI, you are now able to do it, which is a very big deal, because now we can have instant antibiotics. Well, not really instant, but, faster than we can usually build.
Wait, instant antibiotics?
Yeah, antiviral antibiotics, because we can literally now design proteins pretty easily.
So you're saying, like, you go, when you go into like the cinema and it's got the machine where you get like Pepsi and you can press the button to add like vanilla flavoring or like strawberry. You're just like, I've really got hepatitis today. I need some antibiotics. So it's like hepatitis, and then it's like A, B, C, and you press the one, and it just makes this cocktail that you then drink, and it cures you.
It's mainly because of protein. I mean, like everything's dependent on protein, not just your muscle gains. Proteins are the ones that made muscles, viruses, bacteria. They're all made up of shapes of protein. In order to counter a virus, you need to counteract with a shape that will destroy that protein. And we can't really design protein shape because we can't really predict how enzymes would form, because they're always moving around at random. It's too hard. But computers and also AI, yes?
No, go ahead.
Because of AI, it's much more faster computing power. It predicted 90%. Not 100%, but 90% than any other older models, and it can right now give us more protein designs that we can use to fight disease.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm just sorry, just to cut in here again. I'm getting like a weird sound thing. It sounds like a crackling fire.
It's Katie typing.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not typing.
You're not typing?
No.
How about now?
Was it you, Cap?
It could be the fan.
Like a roaring fire. Well, it's not, whatever it is. It's all good. It's all good. No, so that's fascinating. We were speaking like so much about AI last week and like the pros and cons of it. I think just go with it. Our robot masters are gonna carry us to the future, whether we like it or not.
I've also made a funny observation. The way that ChatGPT talks to you, it basically does improv, because even when it gets a fact wrong, it doesn't say no. It says, yes, I can see how you have come to that conclusion. Yeah. But, and then it adds to it. It's doing improv better than us improvisers.
Well, I've said this on the show before. I asked it, like, when I watched Rings of Power, I was on a deep Lord of the Rings Tolkien rabbit hole. And I asked it, I was like, I never thought...
That'll kill your rabbit hole right there. That show was terrible.
It was terrible. I agree. Right. But here's the thing. I was like, the Silmarillion, I've never read it. So I don't really know. And I asked AI, so what does Silmarillion mean? And they was like, oh, it's a collection of stories about the Silmarils. I was like, okay, so the Silmarils are like these jewels or whatever that they're on a quest for. Fun fact, all Tolkien could write about is a quest for jewelry. So every single one, we've got to get the ring, we've got to get the Arkenstone, we must have the Silmarils. And so I was like, so a collection of stories about the Silmarils. So I said to AI, so what does Silmarillion mean? And so the Silmarillion, the Ian part of it, suggests a collection of stories. I was like, can you, when else has the Ian part of a word at the end, the suffix, ever meant a collection of stories? And they were like a chronian, like a chronological set of stories. And I was like, these are just made up words. I was like, well, I was just saying it to illustrate the point. I was like, you made it up. You lied.
I mean,
right?
All words are kind of made up, really.
Jump.
No, but AI, humans make up the words. I don't want bloody Skynet making up the words for me.
To be fair, with Lord of the Tolkien in general, most of the stuff, the fancy words that we hear are made up, because Tolkien is a guy who designs languages. Yeah. He only wrote stories afterwards to use those languages that he created.
But he didn't make up. He didn't make up the word Silmarillion I'm going to ask AI. He didn't make it up to
You
me
can
in a
ask
collection
AI.
of stories about the Silmarils.
And,
So-
and David, here's a tip that I used when I study with AI is that ask it to provide a link to the source. Otherwise, you will not get a good answer.
Yeah, I can second that. It is blatantly wrong quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like when you use it a lot, you see that it gets stories wrong. It'll completely conflate like two stories and just put somebody else's name in something else.
I think mainly because, but that's why I like the new function that they put. That it will provide you the source. It will link you where it got this from, which you can actually go and really say if it's true or not. Welcome to AI battle.
I mean, that's kind of the problem that I think people forget about is that the fact that AI kind of works, by looking at everything online, etc., and then giving the most succinct answer from all of them. Problem is that a lot of what's online is not correct.
Yeah.
So it's giving you the most agreed upon incorrect answer a lot of the time.
I like how there was one situation where someone used Google's AI and it gave the solution, and at the bottom it says, users on Reddit have said, delete yourself. That's part of the reply.
Oh my god. Right. Look at that. I'm just trying to ask it this thing. Okay, here we go. Exact same thing. I'm going to bring it up here. So, what does the word Silmarillion mean? It is derived from J.R.R. Tolkien. Silmar from blah blah blah, meaning white light, referring to the radiant holy light of the Silmarils. Rillion, a suffix suggesting a collection or historical account possibly linked to blah blah blah. What is your source for why the suffix Rillion means a collection of stories or historical accounts? The interpretation of the suffix Rillion and Silmarillion as suggesting this is not explicitly defined by J.R.R. Tolkien, as he did not provide. So it just makes this shit up.
Fanfiction.
Only when you ask it to provide a source, it will be like, I made it up.
I can't believe it made it up in the same way. There has to be somewhere it is getting that from specifically.
Yeah.
It's probably like people talking about it and like reaction videos,
it invades
articles,
Reddit threads.
reviews.
It invades Reddit threads like anything else. But that's why, like, even with ChatGPT, right? You can go to use which model where there's some engineers who have built up certain things that are made for research, and you can use that instead of using the plain ChatGPT one, which just uses everything.
Hey, Dave.
Whenever you want it now.
Yeah, go on.
Dave, I paid for ChatGPT and it gave me a different answer.
Okay, tell us. What have you got?
It says good question. The Ilion at the end of Silmarillion isn't just a random flourish. It comes straight out of Tolkien's invented language. The title literally means the story of the Silmarils. Here's a breakdown. Silmaril, the jewels created by Fëanor or whoever. The ion suffix. In Kenya, one of the Tolkien Elvish languages, is the suffix meaning tale. So essentially, Silmarillion is the tale of the Silmarils.
Ah, that's interesting.
Tolkien explained in a 1951 letter, Silmarillion literally means the Quenta Silmarillion, the history of the Silmarils.
Okay.
Now ask for its source of that letter and tell it to link
it. Has to be getting it from somewhere. Okay, so when I've looked at this just a tiny bit more, it does say that some of where it's got is general Tolkien linguistic scholarship, such as discussions on forums. So, there we go. Anyway, guys, there's a lot of other things. Go on, Dev.
Quickly, I just found out what the source of the letter is. The source of the letter about Silmarillion was a letter from Tolkien to Milton Waldman, the publisher of the Silmarillion.
Well, I call bullshit here because it wasn't published until after he died. So,
it's from the Tolkien Estate website.
Okay. Right. Anyway, now, guys, there's a bunch of other things going on in the world, I'm sure. Yeah. There's some trailers and stuff. Like, perhaps the most interesting thing here is there is like a photograph here showing the cast of Spaceballs 2 all together. So I don't know if we can click on this and see it bigger. Unfortunately not. Let's see if I can open it in a new tab.
You can press Control and scroll, Dave.
Yeah.
Control and scroll to zoom in. Thank you. Right. Okay. So look, that's Mel Brooks there by the looks of it.
He's running around.
Yeah. Where's Rick Moranis? That's Rick Moranis, I believe.
Oh wow, cool. Glad he's back.
Dark helmet. Yeah, like there was some fake photos, AI again, right? Fake photos going around or maybe they were real actually, showing him with the helmet. And it looked like they'd changed the helmet to look more Kylo Ren-ish, just from this thing I saw, but it might have been fake.
But considering fake stuff, the last time I think I gave you guys a link of One Piece shot. That was completely AI, and I was completely fooled. I thought
it was not. But wait, hang on. Was this like a week ago where we were like, "There's the CGI character walking around with a cameraman"?
Yeah, I didn't accept the CGI was real. I thought the people who were in the shop were real, but apparently they were not.
No, this AI is crazy.
Yeah, it is at this point now.
But you know what? It's not just AI; it's CGI. So, I don't know if you guys have followed at all that like Jordan Peele. There's been like an announcement saying that he's working on this last week. Have you seen about it?
Ooh,
right.
No.
So Jordan Peele with, strangely in a sense, Kojima Productions, who produce like Metal Gear Solid, Death Stranding, and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And we spoke about this on the show recently, 10 or 12 years ago. There was going to be a sequel to the Silent Hill games called Silent Hills, and it was starring Norman Reedus, and it was that one where you walk through a corridor forever. And when Kojima, the director, left that company, that project died, and he was doing it in collaboration with Guillermo del Toro. And then in the last 10 years, Kojima Productions made the video games Death Stranding. Now, something they've shown, we need to make sure it's on mute. Hopefully this won't ding anything because it's video game content. There's this new trailer out. I won't play the whole thing because without the sound on, it's going to be pretty boring. I'm not going to lie. But it's some mysterious, something slid through a door. We'll skip through it. And they show all this word where certain things are blanked out. 10 years since the blank horror, blank, the curse, this, that, or the other. And he says, light the fires to celebrate there, and it's blanked out again. And the whole thing of this Silent Hills that was 10 years ago, 12 years ago, was you just walked through a corridor endlessly, but the more times you walked through it, the more freaky stuff happened. You'd go into a bathroom, and there was like a screaming, skinless baby in a sink, and a ghost of a woman stood on a balcony. And this trailer here, it's just got some hands, first person perspective, someone having to light these candles. And when they light this candle of a baby, it starts crying. So it's very reminiscent of the vibe of Silent Hill. She looks, I say she because you'll see her in a second. She looks around at the door and she needs to keep lighting these candles, but then you start to hear noises. And what happens in a moment? I don't know if I can unmute. There might be music. Let's unmute it. So then suddenly one start appearing.
Just do it for a few seconds at a time, or make sure.
Well, it should be fine. I don't think there's any music, and it's video game footage, so it shouldn't be a problem. These graphics are incredible.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at her lip quivering and everything.
The eyes. The reflections in the eyes are amazing.
Yeah, the
Katie is one of those
down
people. Katie is one of those people when they play a video game. Wow, the rendering on the hair is so good.
Just check this out.
Oh, damn.
And this is, you see one other thing in a second. I'm going to skip it on in case there's music. I don't think there is.
There's a one note.
But so it's Kojima teaming up with Jordan Peele. And what they've said about this is it is a video game, but also it's a movie and a new type of media. So I think it ultimately it's just going to be it's a video game where you watch a lot of it.
Yeah, like a Telltale one as well, and it maybe.
Yeah,
yeah.
Telltale. Like,
Yeah.
You know, like Heavy Rain. You remember that?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
never
think
played
there's
all the way through Heavy Rain, but I played
mean,
Fahrenheit, which came out before it.
But I think, like, if you
Yeah.
look at like RPG games like Red Dead Redemption, Witcher, they're kind of like movies in general. You do hang around in the world and do stuff, but the plot itself is like a cinematic movie. If you put it up, it'll be like a 1 hour movie or 2 hour movie, depending on the game. So,
Linear.
I mean, that's why they say like people have moved away from movies and into video games because video games are more engaging as well as they told better stories actually now. So, yeah, that's where actually we're heading into.
I mean,
completely different media to me. Like, you know,
It's
one's
what?
passive, isn't it? Completely different media. One's passive and one's I forget
interactive.
the word. Interactive. Then yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how much that video games are now like leaning into. They've got like great voice actors. They spend like millions of dollars doing mocap and everything else like this. And like, I think even a few years ago, if you saw that, you wouldn't think that wasn't a photograph of a human being.
Nah.
It's like crazy how good it is. Like the graphics on that look better than the CGI that you'd got in like Lord of the Rings when it first came out. And or well, no, Lord of the Rings. Like the amazing thing to me is when you watch the Two Towers and there was Gollum, I was like, how are they doing that? And then when The Hobbit came out 10 years later, I was like, oh my God, this blows that out of the water. And it's like when you go from Avatar 1 to Avatar 2, it's insane how much better it's got.
And now I would say, how would you compare it to the Rings of Power?
The Rings of Power look like dog shit. Like it looks worse than the first Lord of the Rings film from 2001.
But it spent $1 billion on.
They spent $1 billion on it, and they did really, really bad. But it's like CGI. Weirdly, as good as that video game looks, CGI. Like when we've spoken the last couple of years about MODOK in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, looks so bad. Looks so bad.
I thought that was a joke when I saw that a picture of it. I legitimately thought it was a joke until I saw it.
Yeah. And like the funny thing with it is that they could have done that. It was a stretched out head, but it literally looks like they just stretched the guy's. Like when you watch like the Mask. Well, no, even the Mask looks good, but like from that era, like the Son of the Mask, where you just see what is it?
Son of the Mask is terrible. Son of the Mask is terrible.
Okay. Do you remember in the first X-Men film where the guy gets turned into a mutant and there's like bars and he goes like this? And it's clearly they just got like the footage and just stretched it. It looks like that's what MODOK looks like. And it was like, well, that's fine for X-Men 1. But yeah.
Like 20 years forward.
It's also depending on like how fairly they would probably spend their budget. Most of the times, the executive producers kind of get like a lot of the money for it, even though they're probably not that doing as much as work as they're supposed to be doing, putting that money into like CGIs and things like that. So movies unfairly spend a lot of money in a weird way. Usually, most of the times, in the old days, it would be special effects. That's where they blow the budget off. Right now, it doesn't really make sense because, like, if you blow the budget on the CGI, it should at least look good. So people who have the budget is doing it.
You say that, but Cap, now you with CGI, they cut corners like crazy.
Can you give an example, Dev?
Space Jam.
Oh shit, that was ghastly. What, Space Jam 2?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I'm trying to erase that from my memory. That film was not a good follow-up to the. What I hated about that is that the first one was like it was Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but just the Looney Tunes.
No, do not compare Who Framed Roger Rabbit with Space Jam. Okay.
Why not?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit is significantly a better movie than Space Jam.
No, what I mean is that it's live action with cartoons.
Yeah.
And then in Space Jam 2, they were like, hey, let's just make them CGI. And it's like, that's not the point. The whole point is Bugs Bunny is a 2D cartoon. But anyway.
By that.
You know it's weird. You know it's weirder? apparently, like 2D movies technically cost less than like 3D CGI cartoon things.
No anymore.
Google it. Get me the
I did.
source.
Okay, so Cold Cap, why do you say they cost less for 2D movies?
Well, that's what it actually said when I did the Google thing.
Hang on, that makes sense to me that 2D movies would cost less than CGI.
Yeah.
No, let me explain. With 2D animation, it's because they tend to use hand-drawn stuff for the movies and stuff. It'll cost more. While a 3D model can just be like overlapped on everything.
3D animation is generally more expensive than 2D animation due to the complex modeling, texturing, rendering, and specialized software and hardware required for 3D projects.
Yeah, but problem with that now though is like AI model, like a graphic generator could do that in moments, whereas hand drawn is. Well, you can still make a hand-drawn one as well, actually, to be fair, though.
Yeah, no, because, like, even hand-drawn, right now you can model hand-drawn animation. It's not like the old days where you have to do frame by frame, where you can just model the characters and do it. I think this probably came out before the AI generation stuff happens, where if you're doing 3D projects, you need engines, and you need to license engines, and they probably cost a lot more. So I am assuming that's where most of the cost goes from.
Well, so one thing I'll say about like the cost of these things though is if you remember Justice League, there was the whole thing where after they decided to sack Zack Snyder and get Joss Whedon to finish it, there was the aspect where for the like Warner Brothers executives to get their bonuses, that film had to reach its release date, and that's why it was rushed, and that's why you get a scene with Batman on the roof with one villain to take up like 6 minutes of the film. And that's why when Superman or whoever just goes to rescue that single Russian family in like a little car, it's like this doesn't feel like it's the whole world in danger here when you've just got like these things that felt like they was filmed just like in a green screen room on one set, and it's because it was like, we need to bridge these gaps, we need it just to be this. And
Warner Brothers.
And there's so much waste. Whereas like the big part of the budget was like the executives needed that money for them, and so that's absolutely where corners were cut. And that's why when you look at Steppenwolf in the Justice League version versus, and he looks like a weird CGI Liam Neeson versus when they had the full design. We're dropping like flies, guys. Nick disappeared without warning. Dev's dropped without warning. He'll be back.
Well, he can't say bad about Warner Brothers. He's under contract.
He's under contract. Yeah. But okay, so very quickly. So speaking about the CGI, just because it's relevant here, they've shown off the new Avatar, and just like number 3, she's got like face paint on, and you can see the texture of the face paint. It's like James Cameron is someone who I promise you will not be cutting the corners on the CGI.
Yeah. But I would say, does that look good?
You know what? I don't think Avatar 1 was the big, like, amazing step forward in animation that people think it was. Like, I don't remember it like that personally. It was just like, oh, it's just another animated film. Looks good.
I did a video comparing. So, like, what is it better? Is 2D animation more beautiful than CG animation? For that, I did look at some like the Pandora's Jungle shots. The only thing I would say, Katie, is that it looked realistic. I mean, like that's the point I could actually make. Like, it looks real, but I wouldn't necessarily say it looks amazing, out of my dream. Wonderful.
Yeah. I think I just don't understand what the new thing was supposed to be in that, because it's not the first time they made realistic CGI,
No, what it was, because Avatar became the highest grossing movie of all time. And the reason it did that is because it was the first film where they were like, 3D glasses. That was what made it the highest grossing film of all time. Because the story...
You mean like the good new real 3D thing? Whatever.
Yeah, that was the film that made it big. That was the thing where everyone's like, you've got to see this in 3D. And because seeing it in 3D cost more, That's why the box office went up. And because people were like, it's like when you get like a tech demo, like when you first get I'm trying to think of like a video game. Well, like when the Wii came out, and they were like, "Oh, you've got this thing," and it's like you're playing tennis, and it's like, well, that's the most sophisticated way you can find to use it. When this thing, it was just like it's in 3D, and so it could have been anything, but because it was the first somewhat impressive thing in 3D, and then like, and I do agree with James Cameron, because if you watch like the Resident Evil and Saw 3D and stuff like this, the 3D in it, there is no real logic behind it. It's just like I've got a knife, and it's like now it's going to come towards the camera like this, and it's like
it's been around since the 20s anyway. People don't realize that it's been around so long. 3D TV, like 3D video.
Well, okay. So did you see Friday the 13th 3D? Have you seen that? Oh my god, it's the most amazing film to watch, especially in 2D, because you know exactly what scenes they've thought this is for 3D. You get a character with a yo-yo, just like going like this above a character's head, and then it just cuts for about 15 or 20 seconds of the yo-yo going like this. And another character's like, "Hey, I've got to pay with this." They're like, "Take my wallet." And you can tell that they probably did 30 takes to make it go towards the camera. And it was stuff like this. It was just like, and then there's a girl in a shower, and just like it's just like spraying like this, and the water's droplets just like, and there's no logic to it. It didn't help the storytelling at all. And when you watch like Saw 3D or My Bloody Valentine 3D or Resident Evil 3D, all of these things, it's just like Mila Jovovich just jumping up and kicking as shards of glass go in slow motion. Everything became the Matrix during that 3D era, and none of it was that impressive.
I would say that one of the impressive things on that era would be, it was really underrated, is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I would say like that did very good with the effects when through the batarangs and stuff, and Peter Parker's like trying to dodge and doing those things.
That wasn't 3D.
That wasn't
3D.
No, that was like Spider-Man 3 came out like 2007 maybe.
Yeah.
Like Avatar was 2009. It was close, but like Avatar, nothing before Avatar was like the new 3D. Avatar was the thing that made it like that.
My kid brain mixed them up. But I would say this with Avatar, right? There was a weird thing. So here, I was still in school, by the way, and again, not logged in the internet and stuff like that. We all had these like weird theories of what the Avatar movie was going to be. And Avatar is obviously, a Hindu word. It originally like, or one of our gods when it comes to Earth, it's an avatar. So, and also that trailer shot was a blue person. And we were like, are Americans making a Hindu movie or something? Is this going to be like Space Krishna or something? And we all had these like weird theories.
Hold on, something's not.
And when the movie came out,
I can't hear you guys. I'm coming back. I'm going to come back in a different browser.
Yeah.
Okey-doke.
So when the movie came out, I specifically got the movie because of, is it a Krishna movie made by Hollywood? I need to check this out. And when I watched the film, I was like, this is Pocahontas with the better budget of blue people. Why the fuck everyone's been losing their minds over it?
Wow. But yeah, no, it wasn't all that, truthfully. Like the story, it was Fern Gully and Pocahontas. And it wasn't the great. Oh wow, we've got double Tim.
Oh,
Tim!
Oh my god,
what's going on?
I don't know. I'm going to leave it there because it's.
I can't hear you guys.
Oh wow.
Oh,
can you hear us now?
My volume settings were off.
Ah, that doesn't explain why we have two of you. Now, which one is? Oh, is he frozen? Is he frozen on both? Oh no,
no. I'm trying to figure out why I'm on both. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Agent Smith. Sorry, I cloned myself, and I wasn't supposed to show up there, but I did.
You get to lead your own clone. Are you feeling more stronger?
Yeah, I can take on Keanu Reeves in any form he has, but I will fight him through the power of bad jokes.
Nice.
Otherwise, he'll win.
Tim, though, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, bud?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. We were just talking about Avatar. There's a new trailer. I'm going to bring it up, but I'm going to bring on my harsh force field, just because, like, we should still be able to see it. If they can track this through all of that mess, then I deserve to be copyright struck. But I really enjoyed Avatar 2, and I did think it looked a spectacle, and I watched it in like cinema 4D.
Oh.
So it just meant they occasionally splashed water on your face. Just like
they
6
didn't
months
control
after
time.
COVID ended. I was like, oh, great.
Wow. That was me thinking they were going to control time and space as well. That's disappointing.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'd really like.
But apparently people are into Avatar a lot, which still baffles me.
It baffles me, truthfully. But like that kid they just showed there, he was. I don't know if you've seen the second one, but there's like the human boy, and he's basically like George of the Jungle, where he's like the one human that's been brought up like the blue people. Oh. And when you watch this film, it's like he's almost the only non-CGI thing in it. Like, I don't understand in what universe this is meant to be a live-action film, because clearly, absolutely everything we've seen.
Just like how The Lion King was a live-action film, David.
Well, yeah, wasn't any of it.
No.
There we go.
At least in the Jungle Book, you at least had one kid who was real.
Yeah. Well, like Brendan Fraser should have joined in at some point, like you know.
Yeah.
George of the Jungle is a classic tip.
But see, here's the thing. When I saw the second one, I was like, that was really good.
Yeah.
And since then, I've completely forgotten it. Like, I'm not. I know I'm probably going to enjoy this film, but I'm not pumped for it at all. And I think this is what the whole world is like with Avatar.
Well, I think. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah. Also, actually, shall we just check that KD is okay? Because it just looks like his camera is slumped down somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
KD, are you with us?
KD, move if you're hurt.
Right. I just suddenly looked, and it just looked like, yeah. There
Look
you
for
go.
chest rise to see if he's breathing before we start compressions.
Yeah. But no, I think this film's going to be impressive. I remember, because it was like 2 years ago when the last one came out, there was something about that they were making the last one and this one at the same time. But I think there was the idea that to decide whether or not they'll make Avatar 4 and 5, which is the plan, like the last one and this one both have to be successful. So
I'm so curious how they can create a longer storyline on Avatar, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was amazed they even did it with the second one, and yet it was pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't even give the second one a shot. I was pretty bored by the first one.
Give it a shot.
Yet.
It's worth seeing.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, exactly. This is just it. No one's just like we'll be here and we'll be like for hours. We'll be like, oh my god, is that MODOK? Is this Mephisto in like any Marvel little spin-off show? And then like Avatar, everyone's just like, yeah, it's good, and yet everyone will go to see it.
Well, they have a crab mech, which is kind of cool, and then
in Avatar,
the water dynamics are good.
I forgot that, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's the rule of cool. Superheroes are cool, and our kid brains likes it's always fascinated by it. But when it comes to like, hey, we have blue monkey people, and like, cool, we'll see it, and forget about it because I'm not investing much in this.
They haven't Rule 34'd a lot of Avatar recently too, so you know.
Oh my god!
Think that, like at some point, it's like when. So I don't actively go out and look for this stuff, but like it shows up on your feeds, you know, like weird fucking stuff, and I'm not looking at weird stuff too, huh?
Tim was just googling.
Holy shit! I just had to look up what you meant by Rule 34.
Oh. Okay,
David,
I didn't know that.
You don't know what that is?
No, this is new to me.
Oh, well, there's boy, innocent child.
There's I think
Avatar porn. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think what
Okay.
the first Avatar had was it also had like an honesty about you know, how do you call it? Like just skin. And I think that some people who probably are a little bit more sheltered may find this to be sorry for getting all weird, but erotic. And like, oh, okay, like I like naked people, and so they build a profile from it. Should I stop talking?
No, well, you do bring up the point. I do remember after the first one came out, they were like, wait, they plug their ponytails into their horses.
Oh no.
And they also do that when they like made love.
But that's nature.
Oh, no.
Like nature is reproductive
Oh, yeah.
tendencies.
I'm not going horse riding with you, Tim, if that's nature.
No, well, no,
How else do you
it's
control your
just
horse,
in
man?
the natural cycle of reproduction in a way, and it's like you're trying to create an ecosystem that's different but also similar in a way.
Yeah, I get it.
And from what I read on The Expanse, there's a big part about how evolutionary traits are almost repetitive because those are the easiest ways to solve a problem, such as like developing eyeballs, or there are 5 different instances
That's
where
why
crabs.
most of us have willies. Mammals.
Yeah.
I'd say most roads lead to crab. I was about to say that, Tim.
There's like 5 different evolutionary pathways, separate individual species who decided, oh, I want to be crabs, and I'm not like the kind that gives you the itchies when you're taking a leak or something. It's like, and that's really cool to understand, but I guess I'm trying to put it all together in a scientific way without trying to make it like Rule 34. Anyways, I'm done.
Crocodilians as well.
That's
Have
also
the same thing.
Oh, hang on. Both spoke there. Go on.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, so the odd thing with like evolution, there's also the thing where the closest thing that whales are related to, other than dolphins are kind of like whales anyways, is hippos. And the closest thing that hippos have anything relative to land is actually whales. It has, other than that, it doesn't really have anything related to land, which is always baffling.
Yeah. Yeah, so like the evolutionary pathways are very different, and given all the time that has existed on Earth, there's a lot of things that I guess science fiction writers and science fiction creators can draw from, but you really have to try and create different systems. So Avatar does a beautiful job of creating a whole ecosystem that is very much more connected. But I think part of Avatar is like the brain, like there's neurons in the tree or something, and like they can connect to like the neurons in the hair brain.
So their whole thing is like every living creature on this planet is actually connected, but not in a figurative or a metaphorical sense. It's actually connected. It's just the planet itself is kind of like a weird life, and these kind of like tiny bacteria is kind of living on it. The funny thing I would say, like we found connecting horses to weird, but we are going to connect ourselves to computers. I mean, Neuralink is a thing, and we do more things like that. Right now, you can actually plug yourself to a computer and draw a picture, what you're thinking of. We can't do that now. So,
Cap, we all know why you plug yourself into a computer, and it's got nothing to do with drawing a picture.
There's been experimentation with implants too, and they find that the brain develops like a scar tissue or some sort of biological tissue around it that prevents it from staying connected to the brain.
There's at least like 2 people that have had what is it? The Tesla one? I forget what it's called now.
That's Neuralink.
Neuralink, that's it. Yeah. People have like successfully had it now, ain't they? Like
I haven't heard about. I remember when it was like they mentioned it months ago.
On Joe Rogan.
Wow.
Well, it's not successful yet because they haven't been able to market it. So
did they get?
No, they're not selling it yet.
Did they get the FDA thing approval thingy?
Who knows? Right. I think we should acknowledge also that Dev is back, although I was about to say this and he's gone off screen. But so Dev is somewhat back with us. But no, like I tell you what, guys, all these things, like because it's in so many films about even like the Terminator, Dark Fate, or whatever, it's like, oh, I'm a new kind of Terminator, I'm augmented. Or you see like Bucky Barnes with his robot arm and that. It's like I really don't want to be machine enhanced. It's like I was made perfect originally, you know, and so we can't. Right, we can't like.
We're made perfect, David.
Political minefield there.
There's an interesting dynamic that they played in the video game Cyberpunk about this. It was covered by Wisecrack, a new channel that does philosophy. Is that one of the realest things that could happen when we become like a tech dystopia or something like that? Is that there's a receptionist who is not augmented, and like David thinks she is perfect in every way, and she doesn't really want any more augments. But the thing is, like, companies are not allowed to fire people if they're not augmented for augmented reasons only. But right now, the law has changed, and this receptionist is going to lose her job because she doesn't have any implants that will help her to do her job faster. But because she's now, as you go to the video game and you meet her again and again, you'll find that her values are kind of tripped down because, like, she has no choice but to get a new implant now because, like, she doesn't really want to lose a job. And that's the thing that real futures really think about is that, like, education became harder when you don't have a computer after time. And then education becomes harder if you don't have this new tech. This does a real thing. And the education and also workplace environment, no office can run without a computers now. So it does gradually happen, and those we do sometimes get fall behind.
Yeah, okay, so that's a good point. The thing I was going to mention is I watched The Matrix recently, and something that, like, I like The Matrix, but I never loved The Matrix. And at first I was just like, oh, that was cool, that the shots they did. But what I always felt, which didn't impress me about it, is they'd put like, okay, Neo, let's plug you in. And they're like, oh, wow, I know Kung Fu now. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't, like, you didn't earn these powers. You didn't train for this, Neo. It's just like, it's download content.
Yeah, but David, you can also argue that with any sort of skill, because what we mostly learn is our genes, our pre-coded genetics do play a lot in our capabilities. But it doesn't mean that we can't learn new skill because we are all programmed to learn new skills. But there are people who are dyslexics who have a much more harder time than learning the skills that another person would not have. And also when it comes to athletics as well, so people with fast twitch muscle fibers tend to be very more explosive than other people, and they excel at explosive sports. And these kind of like genetic and skill advantages do come in our biological field as well.
Okay, so let me pose this this question here, because we're getting into like deeper stuff than just like superhero films, right? But so I watched a video earlier, and it was about the world's Rubik's Cube Championships. It was on TikTok, guys. It wasn't a long video. Don't judge me too much, right? And he was like, shh, it's like done. So once if you put something into someone, and it's like, well, now they can just do it like this without looking and stuff like that. It's like, well, is there any point in any championships or anything anymore? Is it like there'll be the non-cybernetic version of people? Because what I was just going to mention on this, weirdly, if you say that you could give someone like the brain chip or whatever, and it's like, so if you say, well, someone who's dyslexic or whatever, like learning disability or something someone may have, or if someone's colorblind or something, and you can give it so now they can see like a fly and they see things ultra fast, or they can now process things 6 times faster. And it's like, well, now someone who had a disability is now unfairly ahead of a normal person who's someone who isn't enhanced. And this is the point I'm coming up to. If you remember, people who were like amputees, double amputees, who were given like those spring legs, people who were able-bodied were like, this isn't fair. They have limbs that don't get tired. And it's like, how did like the people who are obviously disabled now have the advantage because they've got limbs that don't tire and stuff like that?
I have a Warhammer cord, I must say. Flesh is weak. Flesh is weak.
Flesh is weak. Go on, Dev. Not Dev. KD. Or Dev.
I was going to say, I feel like the legs would still get weak, though, you know, like from that. But at the same time, like, you know, something in the mind, like, it's completely different. And like having that, like the guy who got the Neuralink, like he was, I forget forgot what the name was. You know, he's paraplegic, he's unable to move at all. But with that, he can do like all this stuff, like, and yeah, it's kind of at that level now. But I don't know if that's a bad thing, you know.
No, I don't. I genuinely don't think any of this ultimately will be a bad thing, except for like when you say about well, it's the whole steroids argument from the 80s bodybuilding and stuff like that.
You actually, David, the one that you said, it was a controversy big time when they let amputees run in races with people who is not amputees, and this was a big controversy because like that spring-loaded amputee leg generates more force than
that's
people
what I mean.
with actual muscle.
I remember this was a thing, and then crazily, I'm sure this has come up before. Then, like the most famous guy with it ended up on a like murder trial, if you remember that from a few years ago.
Oscar Pistorius.
There we go. Yeah. Right. Anyway, guys, let's talk some more fictional things. Go on, Dev. What were you going to say?
I was going to say the best documentation is that clip I linked on the StreamYard chat.
The what?
The best documentation is the clip I put on the StreamYard chat.
Please don't be Rule 34. Please don't be Rule 34. Please don't be Rule 34.
Is it Planet whatever?
Dev, it's a callback from a comment I made earlier.
Oh, yeah. I can't show. Can I
Dev,
show
how
this?
is New York?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, you can show.
Sorry, I missed it.
Okay, that's right.
This is funny. But didn't they do this in the Big Bang Theory as well?
Oh.
This isn't real. This isn't real.
Tim, you were wrong. It was Rule 34.
Oh Jesus! Right? Yeah, that's on YouTube. I don't get for that.
It's the three flag.
YouTube. Right. Okay. Let's talk about something fictional. What have you guys seen? Okay, I'll tell you something quickly I've seen because I think no one else is going to have seen it, and so we can move on. I saw what I believe is going to be the final Conjuring film this week, and it was pretty good. Like I'll be honest, I was dipping in and out of it, even though I was at the cinema. I was like dipping in and out, like my concentration on it. But I think these films are pretty good with some like nice scares and nice ideas within. Go on, Tim.
If someone has a computer, could you check to see if The Conjuring is originally inspired from a place in Rhode Island? Because I think I know the house.
It is based on a true story. A true story.
It's Ed and Lorraine, Rio Paranormal Investigators.
Conjuring House is what it's called. It's like a museum-y kind of thing now. Like you can go.
Okay, because
it's Rhode Island, yes.
I live in the state that it's in, and there is a fascinating owner of the suspected house that The Conjuring took place.
I've seen them. I think they cheat stuff online.
Okay,
what I've seen.
And who is the fascinating owner?
I don't trust them.
Sorry?
Who is the fascinating? Because I literally read about this week. Why is the owner fascinating?
Because it's poor business practices, and like the claims that they make are a kind of really exaggerated. So a lot of people in Rhode Island are kind of, they're aware of how bad and shoddy the Conjuring house is. So and like this is probably going to reach them somehow, and then they're going to be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this person said this."
To be fair, those whole movies tend to have that vibe where they did you have the in the trailers they say, "Oh, this is real, this evidence, this happened," and even at the end, the devil is real, people, and it's it reads like a public message, and you go like, "Eh."
But anyways, back to fiction.
That's one thing I always liked on The Conjuring. Where I liked on The Conjuring, where it will happen, there'll be something scary, and then suddenly it will just go slow, and it will just bring up as if it's a real story. It really helps immerse you into it. But it's like when you watch Fargo, where it says this is a true story, and that's just part of the fiction. And it's fun because you can do that. I don't think there is a rule that you have to tell the truth on this. But what I read about it, if Tim is in your town, is these guys. This is who it is. Ed and Lorraine Warren. Now they've both passed away now, long since, I think. 2006.
They were definitely completely legitimate.
Yeah.
But who knows, right? Because here's the thing. In the film, they've got like their house and they've got like the room where they keep all of the spooky objects. And it's like we keep them here to keep them away from people and to keep an eye on them, blah blah blah. And this was set up in their actual house, and people would go to this museum. And they passed away, and apparently it was kept going by someone until someone a few years, literally just about 5 or 6 years ago, was like, "This is in a private residence. You can't do this," and shut it down. But now I just read when I read about this the other day, someone else has taken over the house, so it might actually be opened up, so you can go and visit it today.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's cool. So you can see the actual Annabelle doll.
She's not there anymore.
Oh, what?
I think there was a picture.
Go on, KD.
She got bought by someone. Someone famous that knows someone, and someone died like near to it. They're trying to say, they bought Annabelle and then they gave them bad luck, etc. I can't remember who it was, but I can have a look.
Isn't there a picture of Annabelle with Mike Tyson? I'm not really sure if that's real or not. It's like a famous meme going around with, "This is the one time that Annabelle was afraid."
It had to be Scary Movie.
Okay, so I can confirm that did happen because comedian Matt Rife, there's a comedian called Matt Rife, he owns the doll.
That's it, Matt Rife. That was a fact.
Matt Rife also bought property in Rhode Island. But there is a history of fear and horror. Like H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe both spent time in Providence, Rhode Island, and I think Lovecraft was buried here. So,
wow!
Plus, if you ever try, or either Lovecraft or Poe is buried here, and if you ever try and open up a small business in Rhode Island, you know how overwhelmingly fearful it is to do that. So it's a great place to experience expansive, vast horror.
Wait, why is it scary?
I used to run a bakery in Providence, so I don't know. I'm just complaining diabolically.
Isn't that in Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Family Guy,
yeah.
Quahog does exist, but
yeah,
you just call it Warwick.
Yeah.
And we have 7 improv organizations with a population of less than 2 million in the geographical area. I think it's the highest concentration of improv in the United States.
Awesome fact. That is an awesome fact.
Super cool.
The lowest in Birmingham.
Yeah. Okay, so so anyway, I'd say if you've seen the other Conjuring films, it's on par with any of them.
To be fair, I only found the second one scary. I didn't find the first one scary or the third one scary. Third one was not scary at all.
I thought the first one was scary.
Yeah.
But truthfully, so Patrick Wilson, who's the actor in that, and is also in the Insidious films.
Yeah,
literally.
Insidious was fucking scary.
Okay, here's the thing.
The better.
Because they came out, they just take a year on, year off, which one, Insidious or Conjuring. In my head, I just completely blur them. So I can't 100% reliably say, "Oh, this scene with a kid," and it's like, no, he doesn't have a kid. I'm like, oh, what film was that in? But yeah,
I would say that the scariest thing that Insidious did to me was that realization that's there's beings that follow you through the dreams, and they would follow you in real life, and they would show up in photographs. And they would reveal the photograph of the kid growing up and the being getting closer and closer. That should make me like, I need to take my album.
Yeah, I can't watch that stuff on my own in the night, man. I can't be doing that. I won't sleep properly all night.
I do like watching horror films, but I don't generally watch them too late at night. There's something I have to watch during daylight hours.
Just the ghost ones for me. The ghost ones get me.
To me, the reason why Conjuring 2 was scary was the image of the nun. That was something for me was the scariest one.
The Nun was. I couldn't get into the Nun 2, but the first one I thought was a really good film.
I didn't see the Nun separate films, but I saw the Nun in Conjuring 2 when it was the villain. And every time I go to the bathroom, I have to double check.
Shit, I think the film that scared me the most, in terms of like gave me a nightmare, was the film The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar, because it was just that kid going like that, and then the same night that happened, I had like a dream where I was like just going into the entrance of my house, and suddenly that face was there, and I was like, God damn it! I was like, this isn't fair. I'm not finding this funny anymore. But
oddly, when it comes to bad dreams, I have a weird defense mechanism. It's been there since I was a
pee
kid.
yourself, Cap. If you pee yourself,
No. So here's what happened. So I had to
spray.
No, I had to stay with my cousins for a while, and this time I brought my DVD player there, and what they did, the cousin, the most vicious thing to a kid is that they brought the whole collection of horror movies, and they would fucking watch horror movies every day, and I was fucking scared. So when I came back home, it stayed on with me. But oddly, in a dream where I was really, really scared, the Hulk usually comes out and saves me. He really does. The Hulk comes out. Yeah.
So your anger saves you.
Yeah.
I think it's because so in Hulk versus Thor, the animated film, there's a scene where Hulk goes to hell and he fights ghosts. So there'll be ghosts on him and he just thunderclaps and all the ghosts just boosh. I think that's just been framed in my head where anything like ghost and creepy is like, Hulk, save me. He comes out and he saves me in my dream.
That's kind of cool. I gotta head out, guys. Love you all.
See
Have a good one.
As always. Take care. Go on, Dev.
Cap just reminded me of how I have this weird ability to log off my dreams.
Wait, you can log off of your dreams?
Yeah, if I have a nightmare, I can literally bring up the Windows XP like shutdown screen and click on log off, and I wake up.
If this is how I find out that this is really the Matrix, I'm going to be so sad.
I can make stuff float.
You can make stuff float? Guys, all of you are freaks.
Not in my dream.
Okay, go on. You can make stuff... Okay, let's see this.
I can't do it here. It won't work over the camera.
Yeah.
Next time I see you, I'll levitate for you.
But what depth is the real thing? So because like you always have like two types of one type is more immersive, and then other thing is like you have the real like a third person view of your own self, and you will realize, wait, this is a dream. Log off.
Okay, since we're talking all like this weird stuff, I'm sure I've said this before. I do have lucid dreams quite a lot, where I can
34.
I can't control when this happens, but if I do become aware of it happening, I can have it so that I'm just very like sleepy or whatever, and it'll feel like my eyes shut. And as my eyes are shut, it will be like in the darkness, I can see images, and it'll be full color images, and it might be like a person, or often I see things that look animated, right? And it'll be like with my eyes shut, it'll be like as if I can scan over this thing, and it might last 5 seconds or 10 seconds, but then I'll be like, it happened again, where I'll be in this half dream state where however the mind works, where it creates these pictures in your head, I'll be able to somewhat have the awareness that I'm seeing something whilst I'm still like conscious, and it's like something that you'd normally see, I guess, in a dream. And I've had it happen probably 20 times over the last 5 or 6 years, but never ever before that. So something has changed in my brain, where when I'm super tired, this occasionally happens, and I'm like, this is so freaky. But the freakiest time, which I would swear that this was a real experience, I felt in the middle of the night 4 years ago, 3.5, 4 years ago, that I opened my eyes, and on the wall, I felt like I could still see something for a few seconds. And I was like, that it's a hallucination of sorts, obviously, right? But I was like, my dreams just manifested in the real world for a few seconds after my eyes were open.
I mean, that's possible anyway.
Well, but the thing was, everyone was like, David, you were asleep. And I was like, no, I swear. But I do swear that this happened, and I saw something for a few seconds.
Yeah, that's probably possible. Like that, you can it's essentially like imagining something but being awake, half asleep, kind of thing. And it's
yeah,
like you said, it's like hallucinating something. But that's kind of what dreaming is anyway, when you think about it.
Isn't it? Yeah, I
But when
agree.
they talk to you, David, you do definitely need to say a psychiatrist.
Oh, don't say that, Cap, because part of my lucid dreams, sometimes I'll swear I will hear voices.
Oh no, Annabelle!
Don't say that. Don't say that. Never the two, but it couldn't just be like when I'm really tired. It would just be like I've heard a voice, and I'll be like, "What? Who spoke?" And people will be like, "Didn't say a thing." I'm like, "Oh, great, it's this." But anyway,
I think I hear voices sometimes.
You know
I have
what
a
else
podcast
is
to me.
technically hallucinating?
what, Dev?
Do you know what else is technically hallucinating as well?
No, tell me.
Reading.
Reading.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I'm going to have a vague idea what you're going to say, but go for it.
So when you're reading, you're imagining the things you're reading in your head. So you're hallucinating those things into imagination.
Well, it's a weird thing. So if like
Not all people have that, though. Not all people have.
Yeah, well, I think I was about to say this as well. So there is the condition where I've seen videos where people say about, oh, I found out that other people, if you say like an apple, they can visualize something somewhere in their head, and some people can't do that.
They usually don't have inner monologues either.
Yeah, it's weird how the mind is so different. You have an inner monologue.
Yeah, it's narrated
just
by.
like, kill the people.
No, it's narrated by Raul Julia.
It's Raul Julia.
Yeah, as the narrator.
What's it? That's awesome.
That doesn't sound normal.
Do you remember?
When I read, my narrator, like the voice that in my head that reads the stuff, is Kelsey Grammer's voice.
Well, have you seen? Is it in Family Guy where there's like the little girl baby, and the voiceover of it is Patrick Stewart?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen? Yeah, it's just like that's awesome. So there's like Stewie, and then I forget who has a baby. Who has a baby?
Joe's wife.
In the area.
Joe and his wife have a baby, and it's a little girl, and she's got a dummy or a pacifier, and it's just like, I just pooped myself, and it's just Patrick Stewart doing the voice for it. It's just genius.
Although to be fair, my personal inner monologue when I'm like thinking and stuff like that, it is my own voice. But specifically when I sit down to read, it's just like once upon a time. It's Kelsey Grammer.
I have no idea. I've never really thought about it. I'll probably make it up now though when I'm reading next time. Just make up some
it is this thing.
I would say it's mainly because like I learned mostly English through audio, like watching and listening to stuff. So that like even right now, like if you give me a word that I don't know how to read, but if I like can hear it, and then that's how I actually audible learner, I would say. So. Yeah. I think my early childhood cartoons, especially Disney specials, were done by Kelsey Grammer, where he would read the stories, and that's how my brain said, "That's your narrator from now on for reading."
That makes sense.
Speaking of that, doesn't Andy Serkis didn't he do all the Lord of the Rings?
The books.
Yeah, the audiobooks.
He did, and I tell you what, he does the voices so that they sound. It's got the same delivery, and he sounds like the characters from the movie, the actors in the movie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He does them really, really well. I was listening to all of them probably just under a year ago. And because I'd got them on Audible, I'd got some like deal with my phone. So you get like
David, you have Audible and you haven't listened to whatever Dave Meekin was suggesting about Doctor Who?
No, well, do you know what? That's a good point. I could actually look up one of these Big Finish things and finally listen to it. But I downloaded like Lord of the Rings, and then I downloaded The Hobbit, and it was read by Andy Serkis. And I was like,
"Oh wow!
Oh, did he read the others?" And he did. So I've got two different readings of the Fellowship of the Ring. So one is some random guy, and the other I've got like Gollum doing the actual like voice and everything. So, which is really fun.
I would say so. I don't tend to get like novel series and things like that because I could never follow them up. That's why even when I physically used to read, I would get like short story collections and things like that. But right now, I think last year I first finished my novel series from Warhammer, mainly because it was audiobooks. And with audiobooks, basically I would play them for 30 minutes while I get ready to bed. And I did that like every day, and I went through 11 novels.
Wow.
Finished 3 of Terry Pratchett's books, and I would say Audible is just amazing. I would say to catch up on books. And my recommendation to you, David, is The Infinite and the Divine of Warhammer 40K.
I've got quite a lot of audio books to listen to. It's going to take me a long time.
No, listen to them first. Listen to this first.
Personally, audio books are not good. I like proper books.
I like proper books as well. Because I have to drive a lot for like different jobs, and so when I was just like, these are going to be perfect for like if I'm driving to for an acting job, if I'm driving to teach. Where I live, there's no work. So you always have to travel a long distance to get any acting work. And so I'm like, as I'm driving, I could just listen to another podcast again where they're just, everyone should listen to this podcast. But yeah, I could just listen where they're discussing movies or video games or something. But I was like, no, I'll try to take in some books, especially if it's ones which, like the atmosphere and stuff can help. So I like listen to The Silence of the Lambs and stuff where you can like get
listen to Silence of the Lambs while you drive.
Yeah. Oh best time to do it. You're safe in the car there. No one's getting you, right? But all the Lord of the Rings.
A cop stops you and your window rolls down, and the minute he is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better than like listen to the audiobook of Fast and the Furious or something.
Wow. No, that could go really badly. Yeah.
Like every end of every paragraph, there will be a one word: family.
Right, guys. So we'll begin to wrap things up here. I'll look to see if there's any breaking news or anything, but I don't expect there's going to be today.
I know there's breaking news like for London, well, for the UK anyway. We now have to have you're on about connecting to like technology earlier. We now all have to have digital ID cards to go to work and stuff.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Actually?
Yeah, about 3 hours ago.
Cyberpunk is real.
To go against immigration and illegal immigrants and all that kind of stuff.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, digital ID to be compulsory for all UK adults.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Cap.
No, I think it's probably going to happen in Sri Lanka as well. Even though I'm a Gen Z, I don't have a digital ID card. My ID card is still like paper ones. But like, I think 2 years after my birthday, people who come after that do have like a barcode in their identity card. Now,
digital ID. What does that mean? What, on your phone?
It's an app on your phone.
It'll be on a chip as well.
We have to prove all the stuff first, so that's the only issue. Sometimes, there's going to be some people that are legal and all that, they get caught up a bit in it. But hopefully, if they make it easy enough, like, it shouldn't be an issue, really.
My always have been worried about like these digital things, like we all lose identity cards and things like that. But it's much easier to get caught if someone is using your physical identity card to do something. But with digital stuff, I'm mostly, even with my bank, I'm not really into opening up an online bank account because like I know it can get hacked pretty easily. I would rather go to the bank physically and do the stuff there.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the credits from Demolition Man.
Dev, you literally took the words out of my mouth. What I was about to say is, I feel like we're one step closer to where our currency is just credits. You hear this in so many different science fiction things set in the future. How many credits do you have? Oh, that's just 50. Yeah, I want. Do you remember that? What was that film? Like Out of Time or In Time or something like this, where it was like Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You're just time.
Like you've got your time is your currency.
Yeah,
that's where we need to get to.
See that? Okay, so that movie has like a fallacy that I hate. The poker scene where he goes all in.
Yeah.
The other guy could have just waited for him to die.
Yeah.
Maybe you just kept alive at the table.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean,
wouldn't credits already be kind of like Bitcoin, arguably?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's just like we just need to rename pounds to credits, and then we'll be living in the science fiction.
In China, there's already social credit. I'm not really sure if that's their currency, but but they do give you credits on your social behavior, and you can lose points. If
Look,
you are
everywhere. Look, you know, I've got reams of street cred, right? So basically, you know,
You do scream.
Now,
You do scream that.
I do scream
but-
it, don't I?
Yeah, but with this one, you can't, like, if you have lower points, you won't be have access to public transportations or to certain get jobs in certain places. So yeah, so social credits matter in that sort of sense.
Yeah. Okay, Dev, what have you got for us? And then we're gonna have to.
I just remembered when I was in New York, I walked past a Bitcoin ATM and I bought Bitcoin.
Gave you Bitcoin.
I bought Bitcoin.
All this stuff
with the ATM.
Non-fungible tokens. All of this stuff, I completely don't know what any of it means. It's just stuff we hear. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I use Bitcoin. It's all right. People make out like it's some, like, you know, terrible thing to people that use it and that, like it's. Obviously, people can use crypto coins to scam
I
people.
use Bitcoin
As long
by
as you stick with the
things.
known ones, you're good. Personally, if you go out there and buy Hawk Turcoin and expect it to go well, then that's on you.
Do you know whatever happened to her? She was so big this time last year.
Okay, so she endorsed the coin and got in trouble for it, and now disappeared.
Wow.
Podcast still, I think.
I mean, to be fair, Bitcoin would have been a great investment in the 2000s or like in the 90s. Right now, unless you're running like an underground organization where you have to deal with cryptocurrency, as a normal person probably no.
Or buying stuff from them, you know.
Yeah. That's totally not why about Bitcoin yet.
Okay, anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap things here. So this has been a pleasure. Let's find out where we can find anyone. If you have a specific geeky recommendation, let it be known. Dev.
You can find me on TikTok and Twitch on the name FWDT. And my geeky recommendation is Absolute Batman, which is a darker reimagined version of Batman where the villains are like body horror. And like they're like horror monsters.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. Wait. I've just Dev, you've got thank you to our sponsor Audible, right? I'm going to get into trouble over that because they're going to think that I'm actually like sponsored by Audible, right? It's going to get me in trouble.
Like, please, Audible, please.
Right? Yeah. So Audible, you can sponsor me, but we are not sponsored by Audible. KD.
You can catch me on KD Comedy Podcast with Squishy Logic, new episodes each week. And I'm putting out more clips on the KD Comedian and Podcast YouTube channel. Just about to put one out where I show my non-wrestling comedian podcast partner the invisible wrestling match between Invisible Man and Invisible Stan.
Oh my gosh!
It's an amazing piece of cinema. I think
it's a sight to behold. Yeah,
it is indeed.
You can find me on SWAT Deeds, where I think I dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I work with puppets. You can go and watch the sketch, Mufasa and Scar, and what actually happened to Sarabi and how she disappeared. It's a sketch. You can go check it out. The next episode of Ballads of Harrison will be delayed slight because I have to recast and stuff. And there's going to be Halloween coming up soon, so there will be a Halloween sketch and some specials and things like that. So look forward to that. And my recommendation to David specifically, because he has Audible, Infinite and the Divine.
Yeah, but I don't get all books for free. I still have to pay for these things.
It'll worth the money.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation. I forgot.
What is that? Dan Brown. Is this the new one? Yeah. You know what? I do want to read that. Okay, I do want to read that. Okay, guys, my name is David Pistansky. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and everywhere else at David Pistansky, spelled Pustansky. Get any of my books, including Extreme Improv 2, Bigger Book of Improv Games, and what else was I going to say? My geeky recommendation, I've forgotten what it was. Go see The Conjuring. So that might be worth seeing, but it might not be. And so, with that, until next time, smash that subscribe button wherever you're watching. And stay safe, always stay extremed, and ciao for now.
Boom.
And we're off the air.
Yep.
Awesome.